Daniel Brandon Bilzerian is a social media star, king of Instagram, and has a huge following on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and an impressive bank account to match. The question is, how?
Hi guys, PokerNow here. Welcome back to another thrilling episode of Poker Hands. Before jumping straight into action, I would like to ask you guys to hit that like button and to subscribe too, as your support is very important to us.
The 5-second looped video was all it took to make Dan Bilzerian an icon. The clip, lifted from the live TV coverage of the 2013 World Series of Poker in Las Vegas, shows a player sitting at a felt table, betting on a hand with $7 million in the pot. Or, at least that's what you think it shows the first time you watch it. But then the clip repeats and repeats until finally, you notice the intensely staring Tom Cruise-ish figure in the top left corner of the screen. He's sitting in the spectators' gallery, bathed in blue mood lighting, watching the game. More to the point, there's a young woman draped over him, black dress, long hair, adoring eyes, who appears to be employed for the sole task of, well, stroking his beard. Thus, the internet and the world was introduced to the strange and unsettling phenomenon of Dan Blitz Bilzerian, the 35-year-old son of an exiled 80s corporate raider and a kind of Bruce Wayne meets Hugh Hefner for the social media age. Let's first talk about Dan Bilzerian. Daniel, or Dan Brandon Bilzerian, was born in Florida, USA on December 7, 1980, to Paul Bilzerian and Terry Steffen. Dan's father was a well-known Armenian-American businessman and venture capitalist who had major stakes in a variety of firms. His father graduated from Harvard Business School and started his robotics company right away. The robots company prospered, and he earned up to an 8-figure salary. Unfortunately, his father was convicted of fraud and declared bankrupt after having to pay a $1.5 million fee. Paul served 13 months of his 4-year prison sentence in addition to the prison fee. However, his past wealth holdings added to his children's fortune, because he established trust funds for his boys at a young age. Dan claims his fortune to a trust fund left to him by his father, a Wall Street corporate raider, as well as his professional poker career and CBD company. His Instagram is proof of his lavish lifestyle as he flaunts his vehicles, firearms, and home. Dan is a bachelor, and his Instagram profile shows how much he enjoys it, as he photographs himself surrounded by several girls having fun. Dan Bilzerian attended Gaither High School in Florida, where he grew up. In 1999, Bilzerian decided to attend military school at the U.S. Navy SEAL Division. He did, however, leave the Navy SEALs owing to a leg fracture. In addition, he had 2 heart attacks and a pulmonary embolism. He wouldn't have survived if it hadn't been for the quick medical assistance. Dan enrolled at the University of Florida to study business and criminology after dropping out of Navy SEAL training. There isn't much information on whether he finished the course. Now let's move on to Dan Bilzerian's poker career. Dan has been playing poker professionally since he was a child. He used to play poker with his brother Adam Bilzerian, who is also a player. They used to compete, and it's evident that Dan is the superior one now that he's made it big. Dan is the co-founder of Victory Poker and GG Poker ambassador, bets up to 8 digits, which is millions, on a single high-stakes poker game, and has won millions of money on those cash games. His winning mindset is what has separated him from the rest of the poker players in the poker community, making him the best. For example, he was once able to turn $750 into $187,000 on a single high-cash stake game. In 2008, Dan Bilzerian competed in the World Series of Poker main event. He was able to finish in 180th place, earning $36,626. He has competed against renowned poker players like Phil Ivey and Joe Cada and won them. Similarly, Bluff Magazine named Dan one of the world's funniest poker players in 2010. The poll was conducted on Twitter once more, and his admirers voted for him. Dan Bilzerian has announced a heads-up poker battle with Alec Gores, an Israeli billionaire venture capitalist. They once competed in Molly's Game, Hollywood's largest and most exclusive poker game sponsored by Molly Bloom, where Dan Bilzerian claimed to have won $40 million. In Las Vegas, they will compete for $100 million. That's $50 million each. Moreover, Dan Bilzerian competed in the Las Vegas Motor Speed War drag competition in 2011. He competed in the race with his 1967 AC Cobra. Dan defeated Tom Goldstein and received $385,000. According to the race data, he finished the race in 10.74 seconds at an average speed of 133 miles per hour, while his adversary Tom Goldstein finished in 11.54 seconds at an average speed of 122 miles per hour. Dan not only rode a bike but also competed in drag races. He bet Bill Perkins that he could ride from Las Vegas to Los Angeles, which is about 300 miles, in under 48 hours. Dan kept his word and finished the trip in 33 hours with no medical help, winning the bet. Bill Perkins rewarded him with $600,000 for his victory. According to sources, Dan is being prepared for free to race by professional bike racer Lance Armstrong in exchange for $25,000. Lance Armstrong's Livestrong Foundation, which helps children and adults with cancer, receives the $25,000 donation. Did we mention he even has a company? Dan Bilzerian founded Ignite International Brands Limited in 1985. Ignite is a public company in Toronto, Canada. The company specializes in selling electronic cigarettes, CBD oils, water bottles, vodka, and other products. In 2020, Ignite was affected by COVID-19 and incurred a loss of up to $70 million, which negatively impacted Dan Bilzerian's net worth. However, Dan Bilzerian's business is starting to pick up thanks to strategies like cutting costs and issuing shares to the public, which have been strategies that have increased revenue for the company. He has also been involved in a few controversies. Dan Bilzerian has had a lifelong fascination with firearms. He once bought a machine gun to school when he was in elementary school, and despite the fact that he had no intention of firing the pistol, he was expelled and forced to finish his senior year from home, failing to graduate with his peers. Dan Bilzerian now owns over 100 different guns and believes that gun rules should be relaxed because guns are a way of self-defense. He has a dedicated chamber in his mansion where he stores and displays his firearms. Despite his fearless display on Instagram, Dan was filmed running away from a Las Vegas shooting where a woman was shot dead.
So crazy.
This caused his Instagram followers to wonder in disbelief if he was a trained Navy SEAL. Dan Bilzerian established the Robin Hood Project, through which he distributes funds to people in need. He is willing to donate $10,000 per person because any amount over that is taxable in the United States. A woman who lost all of her limbs in a vehicle accident was one of the first persons to benefit from this project. Bilzerian, who was now wheelchair-bound, donated enough money to make her home wheelchair accessible. In 2015, Bilzerian also sponsored a poker tournament to generate funds for brain research. The tournament cost $1,000 to attend and was held inside his Las Vegas house. Celebrities such as Ludacris and Vin Diesel, among many others, attended the event. The tournament winner received tickets to the Pacquiao vs. Mayweather fight. Bilzerian was able to raise more than $100,000 for charity in total. Well, that's all for today. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed today's video, you found it interesting, then make sure to leave us a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to be up to date with the most exciting content as soon as it's uploaded. Thanks for watching. See you again soon in another video.